For this video, I want to look at how we can add ribs to our design to try and improve and enhance the way it looks for our torch body. So to start off with, I'm going to look at my original image, which is this one here. Okay, and if we rotate it upside down and we hide the base, you can see that inside here I've added some ribs that have gone across. And these are a common feature within shell creations in order to add strength to the overall shape here. Okay, so how can we do that to our design here? So I'm going to again take my image over that way, and I'm going to hide the base so we can look inside. And we can see that there are no shell bits there at the moment. Okay, so the way to do this, well, I'm going to start by clicking on my top work plane again there, and I'm going to make sure I'm looking straight at it. So there, because I can see my top work plane coming through here. And I'm going to add a new work plane that's going to be a little bit above this, so that I have a little bit of a gap inside my shell casing here. So I'm going to click on new plane here. This is the new plane tool. And this one is going to be an offset plane. And it's going to be offset from the top work plane, so it's going to be slightly above it. By default, it thinks that you only want 25 millimeters. But I'm going to drag this one down, so it is only about sort of like 3 or so millimeters above it. And I can actually type in the value here if I wanted to. Let's type in, say, 3 millimeters. Okay, right. Press enter, and there we have it. They've got a work plane above it. Okay, and we've got a name for it. We can rename it if we want to, but I'm going to leave it as it is for the moment. Okay, that places a new plane. So I now have 4 work planes to play with. I've got my top, right, and front, and a new work plane called plane 1. Okay, so I'm going to draw onto plane 1. So just to make life easier for myself, I'm going to hide my other work planes, just so I'm not seeing those ones there. So you click on the eye and you can hide them. So now I'm just looking at plane 1. I'm going to click on this surface of it, there, okay? And I'm going to put a new sketch on that surface, okay? I'm going to draw on this side here of it, okay? So I'm going to take my line drawing tool, which I'm looking straight at it, and I'm going to put a line across here, okay? But I want it to be a horizontal line as I draw it, so it's going to come across like so. And I'm not going to join it all the way across, it's just going to be from one end to the other, like so. That's fine, okay? Again, press escape to finish it off. I'm going to take another one, a little bit lower down, so there, coming across, like so, okay? And press escape. So I've got 2 lines. Now they're not touching anything else, and this is important, they're not touching anything else, okay? Because these are going to be used to actually create our rib. I could take my dimension tool and I could start dimension between 2 points if I want to know the exact distance that it's going to be from one edge to the other. So take the dimension, pick that line there, and then I can actually work out that distance, okay, for me. So maybe we only want this to be 25 mil from there. Okay, so I could do that. Let's do the other one as well whilst we're at it. So we'll click on this, and we'll click on that surface there, drag it across, there, and make this one 30. Okay, cool. Now if you know what's going to be going in between this, so it was your battery casing that went there, you could check the distance between the ribs, and that could help sort of place things in place. But we'll come back to that later on. Okay, so now I've got 2 lines going across that are hung on this new work plane there. Okay, I'm going to use this tool here. This is called a rib tool. Click on that. Click on the first line there. Okay. And what it will ask is, well, what part do you want this rib to actually touch? Well, I want it to touch the shell part here. So part, and it's going to be the shell that I want it to touch. So that's where it's going to be part of. And you can see it tries to put a rib, but it's going the wrong direction for us. So let's change this. Let's put normal to sketch plane. So it goes that way. Now that's trying to do it, but it's going in the wrong direction. So let's click on opposite direction. Now I've got a rib appearing. And we can set the thickness of the rib. Well, it's going to be only 1.5, so we'll set this to 1.5 now. Okay. So that's putting a bit inside, but it's only as long as the original line that we drew. So you can extend profile to meet the rest of the shape. Ah, that's better now. Now it's meeting it neatly, and it's rounding off neatly onto the fillet that we put on earlier, which is quite cool. Right? So the sketch that we used was Edge of Sketch 4. We could also pick this one as well at the same time, because we want the profile to be exactly the same on this. So we've got both lines selected, or you could do two separate ribs. It's up to you. There we have it, and they've extended right to the edge, and they're in the right direction, and we set the thickness to them as well. Okay, click on the green tick, and we now have a nice rib going through our shape, like so. Okay, which looks quite cool. Right. See if you can add that to your drawing.